NBA Youngboy before Pusha T.
That's wild, Jim. That's
NBA Youngboy before Pusha
crazy.
T?
That's crazy. What do you...
What?
Nah, Jim just trying to get everybody mad.
Pusha T around out here. You heard?
Jim trying to get everybody mad. That Jim's... Look at him. Look at him laughing.
That's what I'm trying. That's how I feel about Pusha T being on top.
What you...
Oh, man. Okay, it's just yours.
It's what they want. You got to respect people who turned the lights on for you.
Mase taught me how to rap, and Cam always made sure I was on every single album he had. There would be no Jim Jones if it wasn't for them guys.
1 hour later.
It's good to hear you give Mase his flowers.
I ain't giving no flowers. I love to hate, because I'm a hater myself.
Okay.
Jim Jones just made a mistake, and now the entire rap world is laughing. What started as a slick comment about Pusha T spiraled into a lyrical bloodbath, and Jim, he's not just beefing with Push anymore. He's getting clowned by Mase, buried by Cam'ron, and roasted by 50 Cent, all while trying to act like nothing's wrong. But this beef didn't come out of nowhere. It started with one disrespectful comment, and what followed was a full-blown humiliation tour that's still unfolding in real time. So how did Jim go from Harlem legend to hip-hop's latest punchline? Let's rewind. It all started when Billboard dropped their top 50 greatest rappers of all time list. Pusha T was placed at #29, and Jim Jones wasn't having it. He went on The Breakfast Club and downplayed Pusha's legacy completely. He asked, "What has he done?" Said nobody wanted to dress like him. Nobody wanted to be like him. That Push had no club records, no street anthems, no cultural impact. He even challenged people to name 5 Pusha T songs. "I can't rap 5 Push records," Jim admitted. And then he doubled down on another podcast, saying NBA Youngboy should be ranked before Push.
You don't think Pusha T should be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
Ow! What has he
What?
done? What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't get?
Now, keep in mind, Jim wasn't doing this for kicks. This was about loyalty. Jim was riding hard for Drake, who's been at war with Pusha ever since the story of Adidon. Jim positioned himself as Drake's soldier, throwing shots at Push just to defend the Sixth God. But what he didn't expect was for Push to fire back and aim for the throat. Then came the Tiny Desk performance. Pusha T and his brother Malice returned as clips to debut their comeback album Let God Sort Them Out. But what no one expected was for Push to use the moment to air Jim out on a global stage. During the performance of Chains and Whips, a collab with Kendrick Lamar, Push delivered a brutal verse aimed directly at Jim. "You run from the spirit of repossession." That line hit deep. Why? Because Jim's house was repossessed a few years ago. Push was airing out real-life problems, not rumors. Then came the coldest bar of them all. "We all in the room. Here's the elephant." Translation? Jim's desperation for a Drake feature was the elephant in the room, and Push was done pretending not to notice.
You run from the spirit of repossession. Too much enamel covers your necklace. I buy bitches, you buy them sections. You buy watches, I buy collections.
He mocked Jim's flashy jewelry, his failed investments, and most of all, his lack of respect in the rap game. The performance wasn't just lyrical, it was surgical. Push never blinked, never smiled, just stared into the camera like a man possessed, and the internet went crazy. As if that wasn't enough, Mase and Cam'ron joined the roast. Mase pulled up to their podcast, It Is What It Is, with a bucket of popcorn, literally laughing at Jim's downfall.
What you Oh, man. Okay, it's just yours.
It's what they want.
But this wasn't just about Push. This beef runs way deeper. See, Jim, Cam, and Mase all came up together in Harlem. Or at least, that's how Jim tells it. Cam, on the other hand, says Jim was never part of their original crew. According to him, Jim was a fan, someone who begged to be part of the wave after hearing their freestyles. He even says Jim lied about being from Harlem. "You from the Bronx, bro," Cam said bluntly. "We didn't grow up with you." Then they pulled receipts. They played old interviews where Jim admitted Mase taught him how to rap. "I learned from Mase," Jim once said proudly.
But now?
Mase and Cam were using those clips to clown him. They said he never built Dipset, never pioneered the aesthetic. That pink fur coat? Cam says he was already wearing it before Jim ever showed up. In their words, Jim wasn't a general. He was a fan. Now, Jim wasn't about to sit back and take that L quietly, or at least he tried not to. He posted a freestyle on Instagram, claiming it was a response to Push's bars. But here's the problem. That freestyle? It was 2 years old. Yep, Jim dug up an old verse he recorded back when the Chains and Whips beat leaked from a Louis Vuitton runway show. And instead of writing something fresh, he slapped it on Instagram like it was breaking news. He even captioned the post, "I thought we addressed this already. He gone need a bigger desk."
The internet wasn't buying it.
His own followers started clowning him in the comments. "You got smoked so bad you re-uploaded a diss from last year."
Sing along the 5 Pusha T records right now. His records.
Yes.
Name
I love
them.
Pusha. Nostalgia.
Oh, you was a Pusha T fan. He's
You
like,
know, you know.
I didn't know he had fans like
No.
that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No,
Dreaming of
his
the
records.
past.
See, but
No, can you? No,
But
can
see,
you rap to 5 Pusha?
I can't rap 5. No,
All right,
I
can
can't.
you rap to
But I'm
5?
also-
Wait. Can you rap? If 5 Pusha T records, not the records he's featured on, if 5 Pusha T records came on right now, could you rap them?
You can rap 5 Pusha T records?
Yeah.
Could you rap 5 Pusha T records right now if they started playing?
What do you mean rap though? Like the hook? Or just
Could you sing them? You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that.
Pusha
But
top 50.
you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought like you dig. Like where I'm from, want to be like you if you was really that dude and that rapper and things
Wayne
like that.
wanted to
It's
be like Pusha. He was influenced by Pusha.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's why Pusha did the Mr. Me Too record.
Okay, cool. You a very strong Pusha T fan. Nigga, you is nowhere near the top 50. You top 950.
No names, just enamel. Bro, you're reaching. It was bad. And the more Jim tried to act unfazed, the more it looked like he was spiraling. But things didn't stop with Push. After Cam and Mase aired him out on their podcast, Jim shifted his focus and started dragging Mase through the mud. He went full-on savage mode, body-shaming Mase on camera. Mase need to go on a diet big around the neck, waist looked crazy. It was less of a diss and more of a meltdown. But Mase didn't say a word. Instead, he did what hurt more, sat there eating popcorn and laughing. And then, just to twist the knife, Cam and Mase brought 50 Cent on the show. That's right, Jim's longtime nemesis, live and in full troll mode. 50 played it cool, but he threw some slick shade, reminiscing about Dipset's early days and how Jim was always hanging around the edges. Not rapping, just watching. "I liked Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam," 50 said with a smirk.
He was your man, like on the side, like on the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mase be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch to see how he responds. And then you see, he like, oh shit, he really like that. Give me that, get me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want you at the show, Jimmy. Yo, but that was one of those things, I just threw it out.
Cam laughed, but everyone knew what was really going on. Jim was being painted as a sidekick, not a star. Now at this point, Jim had been humiliated by Push, ignored by Mase, and shaded by 50. But Cam wasn't done yet. He went off on Jim's entire backstory. Said he was never part of the original Harlem movement. Said he didn't grow up with them, didn't grind with them, and only got involved when Dipset was already poppin'. Even the name Children of the Corn. Cam says Jim had nothing to do with that. That he was just a fan watching from the sidelines. And then came the knockout. "You begged us to let you hang around. You're a fan." Cam wasn't speaking out of anger. He was speaking like a man who'd held this in for years. And now he was letting it all out, on camera, with Mase laughing in the background like it was comedy hour. It was brutal. And the worst part? They had the receipts. Old clips of Jim admitting that Mase taught him to rap. That can't put him on. That Dipset wouldn't exist without those two. Jim was being stripped of his legacy, piece by piece. So why did Jim throw himself into this mess in the first place? 2 words: Drake loyalty.
You know, for you, where does Drake stand in hip-hop history, you know?
I would say he's the greatest of all time.
This entire saga started because Jim felt like he had to defend Drake's honor. Billboard put Push in the top 50. Jim said nah, that's disrespectful to Drizzy. But here's the irony. Drake hasn't said a word. Not a post. Not a bar. Not even a like. Meanwhile, Jim's out here catching strays from every corner of the game. And yet he's not backing down. Jim's got an album coming, Iceman, and word is he's lining up diss tracks for everybody. Push.
Mase. Cam.
Even 50 might catch a bar or two. He's betting it all on a comeback. But the question is, will anyone care? So let's break it down. Jim picked a fight with Pusha T, got lyrically assassinated, tried to defend himself, got roasted by his own fans, took shots at Mase, got laughed at, tried to rewrite Dipset history, got fact-checked by Cam. And all of this because he couldn't stand to see Pusha T ranked above his idol? The fallout from this beef has exposed more than Jim's ego. It's revealed cracks in old friendships, loyalty gone too far, and a legacy that might not be as untouchable as Jim thought. And now, with Drake's name tied to all of this, things could get way messier. Because if Push decides to respond again, it might not just be Jim catching smoke next time. So stay tuned, because the story, it's far from over.